Greetings, royal family. I got my Braxton blue sweater on, so you know what time it is. Hope y'all doing all right because I'm about to go in. So, Braxton Family Values, Season 6, season finale. I hope this is the series finale, real talk, because this episode really put a lot of things into perspective for me. Now, I'm basing my opinions solely on everything that we seen on this episode. Whatever they edited out, whatever they did not, keep into the scenes is of no importance at this time. So congratulations to Trina and Vaughn on your engagement. I wish you nothing but prosperity and good fortune in your marriage. Tamar, you're disgusting. And I knew that before this season was over, the real Tamar was going to rear her ugly head. You are really nasty. You are mean. You are a tortured soul, unhappy. You are just very draining and toxic. You are extremely, extremely toxic. So this episode continues with the Napa Valley birthday celebration for Tamar. The last episode, we saw Tamar throwing a temper tantrum because of, Tony poked her finger in the cake, and it's just more foolishness with Tamar. So, the sisters continued their wine tasting and whiskey tasting, continued their trip. And of course, Tamar just has to ruin every single moment. And Tamar, sweetie, let me tell you something. The way that you treat David, or the way that we saw that you treated David on this episode, it just puts a lot of things into perspective as far as your relationship with Vince, because you couldn't speak to Vince that way. Vince would have not allowed you to put your hand up in his face, put your hand over his mouth, tell him what he can and cannot do, and Tony, you're an airhead. You are an airhead because you're making light of the situation. Oh, David's in trouble again. And what I have come to realize is, Tony, you are Tamar's enabler. All of you are, with the exception of Traci. And Tawanda, I've often said that Tawanda is my favorite, and she still is, but I wasn't feeling you this episode either, Tawanda. I did respect the fact that in this episode you did say that the reason Tamar behaves this way is it's all of our faults. You're referring to yourself and your sisters. And I applaud that, because I've been saying that all season, and you were smart enough to actually say that on camera. And it's true. I feel like everyone pacifies this behavior. I don't know if Tamar is giving y'all money, or if she has some sort of dirty little secret of yours that you guys allow her to continue to act disgusting like this. The fact that she recorded and put on live when Vaughn proposed to Trina, you could see how disgusted Vaughn was. And Vaughn seems like he's not here for the nonsense, Kevin, which is Traci's husband, giving these men cigars, celebrating the occasion. The atmosphere calls for something like that. You're wine tasting in Napa, smoking a cigar, real something fun to do. Tamar is in an uproar, and David doesn't smoke. Oh, you can't smoke. That's ghetto. It seems like everything that Traci and Kevin does to you is ghetto. And Tamar, you act like you're so concerned about David's image. And I think it's a bunch of bull. I think that you said it. You don't respect Traci's husband, and it shows. You don't respect Traci. And Vaughn made an interesting statement stating that he doesn't understand how smoking cigars can be considered ghetto when people who are affluent or of a certain socioeconomic status often partake in smoking cigars. Very well put. Vaughn's a classy man. I like him. And Tamar, who is more ghetto than you? What is more ghetto than your behavior? And if you're so concerned about David's image, then you would leave him alone and let him move on with his life. And she just takes every opportunity to just showcase her ignorance. Like, that's all it is. Now, here's what this scene made things very clear for me. Well, let me back up. So Sean feels that it's a good idea for the sisters to talk and to iron things out, because obviously everyone notices the tension. Not even tension. Everyone notices Tamar's foolish behavior. So Sean decides to sit down with David, and they talk about, trying to get the sisters together to speak and to hash things out without the men being involved. Now, Sean, I will say this. Your intentions seem pure. Your intentions seem like they were good, but always remember, the road to hell is oftentimes paved with good intentions, right? Tawanda, I was really shocked at you in this episode. Reason being is because Traci did express to you several times she's not ready to talk to Tamar. She's not interested in talking to Tamar. She just wants to get through this weekend and let it be done. You knew, Tawanda, that your boyfriend was going to be trying to orchestrate this little, kumbaya moment, and you didn't intervene and say anything. I thought that was and you know Traci better than your boyfriend Sean. Why didn't you step in and say this wasn't a good idea? Like, did you want to see this go down? Were you probably tired and said, you know what, they need to talk? But I think that Tawanda should have actually like put the kibosh on this. But I understand, Sean, you had good intentions. Moving along to the actual final dinner, where things got a little bit heated, and David basically says, Sean, you want to tell everyone why we're here? And then he begins to speak, and you can see Traci getting very tense, and she has every right to be frustrated, because it's like, look, you just came in the picture. Iyanla didn't do anything. TD Jakes didn't do anything. What are you gonna do? And it just all goes to hell from there. You see Traci blowing up. You see Tamar. What I don't like about people like Tamar is, oh, can you lower your voice? This is what she's saying to Kevin. I don't like all of that. Acting like you're a victim. You know good and well that you've been disrespectful to him, calling him ghetto, disrespectful to your sister Traci, as you've been throughout all of these seasons. And now when everybody is ready to confront you, or when anyone's ready to confront you, you're like a damsel in distress. You're so immature. And Trina and Vaughn left. I don't blame them. I would have left too. They got up out of Dodge. They left. You know what I mean? Vaughn wants no parts of that ghetto drama. And Tamar, you just really are a narcissistic sociopath. You really need help. And Traci got frustrated. And see, this is why Tony told Tamar that they need to talk. Tamar didn't want to talk at all. Traci didn't want to talk at all. Understood. But Traci, you have to either do a better job of expressing yourself when any offense happens, or just completely disconnecting and walking away, because what ends up happening is a buildup of frustration, and then you blow up. Was Traci wrong? No, because she's a human being and she feels constantly disrespected. We oftentimes hear her say that. She oftentimes feels disrespected by Tamar. She feels left out by her sisters. And I get it, you know what I mean? And when Kevin was trying to explain to Tawanda and everyone else, he started talking about what happened 25 years ago. And Tawanda in her confessional says, you're still mad about something that happened 25 years ago. And I have an issue with that. Not only is Traci upset about what took place 25 years ago, but you guys are still treating her the way that you did 25 years ago. Like, she's not making a big stink about this because it's not happening. And when Traci got up and walked away and didn't want to be bothered and got frustrated and, you know, was yelling and just all of her emotions were coming to the surface, Tawanda, Tamar, of course, and even Tony, you guys sat there. Tony said, you know, get Traci out of here. I'm very disappointed in Traci. This is how she acts. Tamar was saying, you know, I'm not working with Traci anymore. I don't like all of this violence. And I just feel like nobody got up to see about Traci. And that spoke volumes. This is exactly what Traci has been talking about all these years. You guys sit there and you congregate with each other, and she has no support other than her husband. It's true. She doesn't. And when Tony sat there and acted as if Tamar had no responsibility like had nothing to do with this, you just pacifying her. You treat Tamar like she's a baby, and you justify her behavior. You know, oh, that's just how Tamar is. That's just how Tamar is. And you know what? Whatever it is that Tamar does to all of the other sisters, whether she embarrasses you guys again publicly, whether she talks about your personal life, airs out your dirty laundry, all of you deserve it. And here's why. Because no one calls her out on her BS. No one. You guys pacify her. You guys act as though, you know, that's just how she is. She sweeps it under the rug, and then you victimize Traci. And I'm glad that Traci spoke up for herself when she addressed Tawanda. She said to her, you knew exactly that I did not want this. So why would you let this happen? You know what I mean? And she aired her frustrations out. You know, Kevin had a conversation with Sean, and I think Sean had good intentions, like I said. But I think that this could have been stopped if Tawanda would have said to Sean, listen, don't get involved, you know. Tamar talking disrespectfully to Kevin, it just speaks volumes of how much she does not respect him. She kept saying nobody doesn't even have respect for him. None of the sisters came to his defense, so apparently they don't have respect for him. I just don't like Tamar's attitude and her behavior. It is unacceptable. It's despicable. And I see why Traci continues to be frustrated and continues to feel left out. So am I surprised? No, because, you know, this is who she's proven to be. I feel like she's going to continue to act this way as long as she has someone egging her on, as long as she has someone pacifying her. I think it's time for the Braxton family values to wrap. This is showcasing a lot, and it's just making Tamar look even worse. Of course, she has her fans. This is my opinion based on what I see on the show. But yeah, I just can't respect that. The way that they treat each other sometimes and the way that they allow Tamar to behave, it's really despicable. And it's Traci today, and it's gonna be one of you tomorrow. She's already aired out dirty laundry for some of you, except for Tony. And Tamar seems to think that she's above her sisters for whatever reason. And I just don't respect it. Like, as a woman, as a mother, I can't respect that. You can have differences with people, but when you get to be nasty, don't respect it. Royal family, get down in the comments and let me know what you think. If you disagree respectfully. Let me know how you feel. How did you feel about Traci blowing her top? Do you think it was warranted? Do you think Traci overreacted? Let me know. Like this video if you like it. Be sure to comment. Braxton family values. Seems like the season is over. The series might be over. It's been real, so I guess I can hang up my Braxton blue sweater. Royal family, love you for watching. Until next time, peace.